My name is Eric Smith with Primus Web Studio, and e-commerce is my passion. Over the course of an illustrious 15-year career developing everything from software programs to dynamic websites, I have helped countless people achieve their dreams of mega online store success. It is my hope that the tutorials I provide help deconstruct hard-to-grasp concepts and tools of e-commerce marketing and development. If you like these videos, please support this channel by subscribing, commenting, and liking the videos we produce. As always, thank you for watching. All right, let's get started. Now, Magento is an open source application that requires a server, okay, in order to operate successfully. Okay, so we are going to use DigitalOcean. DigitalOcean is a cloud computing platform that allows us to build a virtual server. Okay, it's like having our own server, except that it's in a virtual location. Okay, so we're going to need to launch Magento on a server. Now, if you click on the link in the description, there'll be an opportunity for you to actually take advantage of DigitalOcean for $10 off. Okay, DigitalOcean is pretty inexpensive to use, so that $10 will go a long way. If you already have an account, you can log in. And I'm going to log in because I already have an account. Okay, so let's just log in. You can also log in with Google, and that will also, if you don't have an account, that will prompt you to create an account using your Google credentials. It should take you, if you don't have an account, and I'm assuming you don't, it should only take you around 3 minutes total to sign up for this DigitalOcean. So we're going to click the login button. Now, once we get to DigitalOcean, we're going to be presented with our account information, overview of our account information. What we want to do is we want to go to the top right and we want to click on Create. We're going to create a DigitalOcean droplet, and that's just fancy for a cloud server or a cloud server instance. Okay, the two are used interchangeably. So we can click on droplet, and we are going to now configure our server where we can launch the Magento application. So once we get to the Create Droplets page, we're going to be brought to distributions. This is already pre-selected. Now the distribution just is fancy for operating system. So these are all Linux distributions, also known as Linux operating systems that can be deployed on a server. Okay, so we're going to choose Ubuntu, which is the most common one. And we're going to select the drop-down menu, and we're going to use the Ubuntu version 16.04.4 by 64-bit. Okay. We're going to scroll down and we're going to choose a size for our droplet. Now, standard droplets for DigitalOcean come pre-configured with options. Okay, so you have your memory, you have your CPU power, and you have your disk operating, your disk space. Okay, so 1 GB means 1 GB of random access memory. Think of this as your computer, because that's essentially what a server is, with your operating system configuration. So the power, okay, so you get one CPU, okay, with 25 gigabytes of SSD space and 1 terabyte of transfer information between the computer and the network, okay? Information that can be transferred free, okay? Before it's assessed differently. So this right here, this option right here, this 1 GB, option number 1 is actually suffice if you have less than, let's say, 250 Magento products, okay? So if you have more products and there's more demand for the database, then I would choose, let's say, anything over 500 to 1,000, definitely something in this neighborhood. The $10 to $15 a month range is good, okay? So this just means here DigitalOcean will not charge you more than $5 a month for your server space. Now, for the purposes of this demonstration, and since we're not going to add 100 or 500 products together, this is suffice for the demonstration, okay? And for most stores, for most people who have products for less than $100, this is suffice. So we're going to scroll down, and it's asking us if we want backups, okay? We shouldn't enable backups just yet. And this right here, add block storage, is an advanced configuration setting that we don't need to add. This right here is important, okay? So whatever country you're located in here, okay, you want to choose the data center that's closest to you. I live in Massachusetts, so New York is the data center, the DigitalOcean data center, where the actual server lives, okay? That's closest to me is New York. So they have different zones in New York. I'll choose zone number 1. I can also choose zone number 3. It doesn't matter as long as we choose the region we're closest to. Okay, now you don't have to live in any of these countries to use DigitalOcean. It's just asking you where you're closest to. Okay, so that when the server loads for you, it's fast. Okay, so I'm going to choose New York. Now it's going to come here to these select additional options. We don't need to do anything here. This is if we wanted some private networking, IPv6, user data, monitoring. These are advanced configurations. We don't need to discuss that here because these are for advanced configurations. We don't need to add an SSH key, and we'll discuss what an SSH key is later. And we're going to be brought to our actual droplet creation. Now, once we get to the actual droplet creation, we're going to finalize and create before we actually hit this create button. So, DigitalOcean is asking us, how many droplets do we want? Okay, we can select as many as we want, so we can create as many instances or droplets as we want, but we only need 1, okay? So it's asking us to choose a host name. Basically, what do you want to name the server? So what we're going to name the server is something you can remember. So Magento 2, since we're going to be using Magento version 2 on this server. Okay, you can call it whatever you want, however you want to remember it. You can also use tags. I don't recommend this. This is enough here, okay? So we don't need to be concerned about selecting a project or anything like that. This is if you're collaborating with somebody, but we're not. And we're just going to hit the create button. Now, once we hit the create button, we're going to be taken to this progress bar right here. And this is actually creating the server that we configured. So this can take anywhere from 30 seconds to a few minutes, depending on your configuration and your configuration settings that you chose. So, DigitalOcean has now created our server. It provided us with an IP address, and it provided us with a server, okay? So, as you can see, the droplet has been successfully created. So when we actually come here, we'll see some information pertaining to the server. We don't need to be concerned with any of this now, but if you want, you can go into your server to see exactly how it's performing based off of all of the traffic you're getting and things like that. This is an advanced server diagnostic and information analytics tool, okay? So we're all set. Now that we created our server and we have an operation system on our server, it's time to start getting Magento ready for the server. And to do that, we need to deploy Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP and enable those things on the server. Now, the most important critical thing you need to understand whenever you are creating a DigitalOcean instance, okay, is you have to make sure that when you actually finish creating your instance, that you get an email from DigitalOcean. Now, DigitalOcean is going to email you the droplet name, the IP address, the root username to the server, which we're going to actually need to log into the server, and also the password for that server. Okay, so this is extremely important. whatever email you get from, whenever you create a DigitalOcean droplet, you're going to get an email from them. And they only email these credentials. And the reason why they do it is for security. They don't leave these things laying around in your account just in case somebody hacks into your account and they now have your server root and username and password. Now, a hacker can use your server username and password to do all kinds of things, okay? They can get information on the type of software you're using. They can steal email addresses. They can completely delete your site. That's not something we want to happen. So we want to make sure DigitalOcean always sends the server information credentials to your email. So as soon as you create your droplet, check your email to get your server username and password, because we're actually going to need that to log into the server when we install Linux, Apache, MySQL, and PHP. We actually installed Linux, so now we're going to install Apache, MySQL, and PHP so that we can successfully launch Magento. Awesome. See you in the next video.